This was from when I went to Auschwitz, and this was the journal that I put in that day. Mommy, when they kill us, will it hurt? No, my dearest, it will not hurt. It will only take a minute. It may have taken only a minute, but it is enough to keep us awake till the end of time. That was from the Galizia Museum. Chilling words, almost casual, a mother trying to reassure her child. The death that is impeding will only take a minute. After, it will be over. How traumatizing, horrible, inhuman, heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, and so much more. I can't even imagine being in Auschwitz looking down upon my child, who is holding my hand with worried eyes. I have been to Yad Vashem and seen the Holocaust Memorial, but never felt a personal connection or grief as I do now. It was like my heart and head finally connected. There is nothing like standing, sitting, touching the barracks, the gas chamber, and the fences that surrounded my relatives and people. I could have been standing where they stood. How can I even explain the experience to you? All I can say is I will never forget what I saw, heard, touched. It is ingrained in my mind and thoughts forever. I truly understand why my grandmother and others didn't want to talk about what happened. So in 2018, I went with the YMJA, and we went on the Eastern Europe trip, and most of it was to give Holocaust survivors, to bring them food and gifts and hang out with them and spend time with them, and also give them gifts as well, and mainly to hear their stories, which was really important, just to carry on their legacy in that way. And so we went, and I was asked to do a trip, I was asked to do a dance. And going on to the trip, I had no idea what I was going to do, like inspiration-wise for the dance. I was kind of just going to figure it out on the way. And when we got to Krakow, I actually texted my grandpa because I knew that my grandma was from Poland. And I was wondering where she was from, and she was actually from Krakow, where we were at. So that was a really cool connection that I got to find an ancestry from there. But on one of the days, we did a tour, and they talked about history, and we went to the Memorial of the Empty Chairs, and that was really touching to me because it was just a long, just, I don't know how to explain it, but there was just a lot of like steel chairs, big, small, and they covered a big surface of the ground, and we were asking them what exactly did that mean, or what was the inspiration behind that, and they said that when the Nazis came in into the ghetto, they told everyone that they were going to be going to a better place, and that they should grab all their things, and they grabbed dining chairs, sets, tables, really everything that they owned, and they left it there, and the Germans said that they would bring it to them. And when they got in the cattle cars to leave, they said they left those chairs behind, and the chairs symbolized a silent witness of the people who were there. So that was what really inspired me in the dance. I knew as soon as I saw it, I knew that that's what the inspiration was going to be for my dance. Not only that the memorial was so touching, but that my family was from there, and a lot of it was, if I was here, I would be in the ghetto as well. So that's where my inspiration came from there. And my family was from Krakow, and we know that 2 family members died in Auschwitz, and there's probably a lot more that we don't have any record of. Why I wanted to do it in like a filming context is because I had always had a bunch of stories, and I love to tell stories, and I love to hear other people's stories, and I wanted to share those through through a video context, more like a dance video. I remember talking to John and Michael about the project and talking about the video, and of course they recommended that we get Dolly and Boris Lovato involved because of their background in film and their knowledge and education, and especially I wanted Dolly on this project because she had a lot of dance background, and I knew that, you know, with Boris's eye for directing and then Dolly's eye for dance, sometimes it's really hard to shoot dance because it's, of course, in motion, and I knew that with her eye it would be really great, and of course Boris's great directing skills, that it would all come together and be really professional. And then about a month later, I got a call from Alexia Formby, who asked if we could shoot the dance that I did in Poland and in Belarus, and also at the Messiah conference, and we wanted to do it in a video setting, and she wanted to cover the song Koustik Adonai by Mekedem. And it was super mind-blowing because I never told her that I wanted to do this, and it was really cool how it just kind of all fell together. It was a lot of work, but I had some previous training and planning and doing all that stuff. But a lot of Skype calls, a lot of hours talking it through, seeing what shots worked, seeing what shots didn't. There's a lot of ideas that I had, and some of them we didn't even talk about or even use, which I think, you know, when you're talking about a video or a dance video, shooting it, you know, you have a lot of ideas at first, but the ones that are, you know, really, really good, sometimes it takes some time to brainstorm. So I feel like each part of this dance video was talked about and mulled over and like fermented on in a way. So that was really cool. I love that. I mean, we met about, when it first started, we met once a month, and then it turned to I think every 2 weeks, and then it turned to every single week. Every Monday we'd be on the Skype call talking about you know, what we were going to wear, to where we were going to shoot it, what fundraising was like, what our social media would look like, all that stuff. So I mean, it wasn't a project that was just really small, we could just do it overnight. It was a lot of work, and it was super worth it. And I'm really, really excited for everyone else to see it as well and to share it. Not only my own story, but to promote other people to share theirs as well. Well, a lot of people I've heard these days deny that the Holocaust ever existed, or, you know, oh, it was just either, you know, it didn't exist, or it didn't really happen. I've heard that before. And I think that not only is it important to of course have that conversation, but it's important to have a conversation with our age group as well, like college and career, or even younger. I feel like, of course, we didn't go through the Holocaust, but, you know, sometimes when things are in the past, we kind of keep them in the past. And I don't think that's something that this big and so much a part of Jewish culture and a part of who we are has to stay in the past. And I feel like a lot of people have some hurt, and the way that they make decisions, or the way that they treat other people, it's kind of the root of it is that pain. And I think that through the conversation, through talking about it, having this project, being someone who is promoting, just being conversation catalyst to share it with other people, not only will it help educate other people, of course, and share our stories and have, but it will also help those who have that pain to be able to heal from it. Obviously, talking about the Holocaust, it's not like happy and great. Of course, there was a lot of survivors, and that's really amazing that they, you know, are still around, and we get to hear from them and talk to them and hear their stories. But I know that the Holocaust is such a deep topic, and I think that especially doing a project like this, we couldn't do something very lighthearted, and I think it would be almost disrespectful in a way. Um, yeah, so there was that aspect of having it being very serious because it is a deep topic, and we'd never want to be disrespectful because we know that it's not everyone wants to talk about it, not everyone wants to even like see it. The dance is really interesting in manner. I've never done a dance like this where every single time I do it, it's different. So there's a couple parts that I choreographed, and that's more structure wise. So I'll walk down stage and I'll do something there. I'll walk up stage, I do something there. I'll put the chair here and do something there. That's basically the outline structure of what the dance is, and everything else in between is in the moment improvised. The main reason why I did that was I felt that each time it could be well, mostly if I think about it, I didn't really like want it to be that way because I'm someone who loves to plan and wants it to be this, and this each time so that I can, I remember it, I know it, I don't have to like be nervous because I know what I'm doing. I've done it 100 times. But I think in this manner, it was the best for me to rely on the song and the meaning of the song and each of the phrases and each of the instrumentals, and really feeling more connected with the music and stuff like that. So definitely did improvise that. But to talk about the chair, I think the first part when I'm looking at the chair, it's like I kind of take it from when I first learned about my family history, being Jewish and also being from Krakow, and then sitting on the chair, like going through that time of learning and growing and with knowledge on like where my family came from. And then the first time taking the chair and dancing in front of it, it's just like facing everything history and just everything that I've had to see with my family, and that was, I think, the very first time I take the chair and then I'll dance in front of it. That was me facing my past and facing what my knowledge of what I know now. And then at the end, it's more me taking that and, of course, have all that knowledge, facing those fears, taking it and walking away with a new idea and a new perspective.
So when this story has a lot to do with your grandmother. Have you been able to talk to her about this since you've created it?
No and no. She doesn't talk about it. Our Jewish roots, it's not something that, it just seems like she would not want to talk about it. We'll get up and leave out of the room, and my dad has always tried to get information about our family. We didn't even know we were Jewish until we took a DNA test. So knowing that, if someone doesn't want to talk about something, you can easily see it. It's not something that they can hide. So we have over the years gotten bits and pieces of our past and stuff like that. That's why I said that I don't really know exactly who's still there and or if everyone's gone. But so yeah, she hasn't seen it, the dance, and she still to this day will not talk about it. In a way, it makes me want to do it more, and not like in a rebellious way, but it makes the intention, of course, it's my family and I want to share, but also I know, it's not just my family. A lot of people go through that. So I want to encourage other people, and I almost can relate to them as well. So